Step on up, step on in. $3 a race, $3 a chase.
Wow, winning.
Welcome to the first episode of Winners and Losers, and meet Ahmed Mohamed, the Clockmaker, and he is a winner. Just not so much here. And this is Ahmed's story.
14-year-old high school student arrested for bringing a homemade clock to school. His teacher thought the device was a bomb. The backlash to his arrest was swift online. The hashtag #IStandWithAhmed quickly becoming a top trend.
And boy, did Twitter ever respond. But it's kind of hard not to respond when you have articles like this. From CNN, Muslim teen Ahmed Mohamed creates clock, shows teachers, gets arrested. And because everything needs a hashtag these days, I stand with Ahmed. When a white kid builds a nuclear fusion reactor, it's cool. But when a Muslim kid builds a clock, it's not. Oh, when I say everything needs a hashtag these days, it does. Jesse Signal. Guys, if we don't have a hashtag campaign, there won't be justice. Should it be hashtag clock not gun, or hashtag TikTok racist clock, or hashtag I stand with Ahmed? Raquel Deskarin. It looks like hashtag I stand with Ahmed is winning the meme war here, which is kind of a shame. Hashtag TikTok racist clock is hilarious. Twitter went nuts with this kid being Muslim and him being brown. Sarah Khan. White kid makes a nuclear reactor, he's a genius. Brown Muslim kid makes a clock, a terrorist. Youngest person to ever build a nuclear fusion reactor. When you're not a Muslim, they support you. And Sarah, your name is ironic because this is a con. Mike. Yeah, I'm pretty disgusted by this. When the hell are people going to learn being Muslim doesn't equal terrorist? Mama Africa. White people are scared of every race but their own. And wild animals. Well, Mama Africa, why don't you check with Greg and see why he might be afraid of wild animals? May contain Greg. Because I never want to see youth of color ever have to question their worth to the world because of racist institutions. Dylan the Fishy. Just because the kid isn't white doesn't mean he's a terrorist. These stereotypes need to be stopped. Honestly. Sarah. Young genius invents racist idiot detector. Have you ever noticed how stupid just tends to travel in herds? There were thousands and thousands of messages like that on Twitter. Those are just a few of the screenshots I was able to capture. And as I said, Twitter was playing off the angle that he was brown and he was a Muslim. Like this would not happen to a white kid if they did the exact same thing. Remember this kid, Josh Welch? He shaped a Pop-Tart into a gun, said bang, and got suspended. Well, really, I'm lying to you. I colorized this photo. He's really a brown-skinned Muslim, and his name is Muhammad Haq. And before he went bang, he went, Allah, Allah, Akbar, la, 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 la. Or about a fourth grader who almost gets suspended for bringing a 2-inch Lego gun to class. And here he is. Wait, no, that can't be right. I must have gotten the wrong photo. No, these things only happen to brown-skinned Muslims. And we know it can't be right because Twitter tells us so. Peter Shankman. By the way, arresting smart 9th graders isn't how you stop terrorists. It's how you create them. I stand with Ahmed. Well, Peter, you think Ahmed's going to be a terrorist now? Well, that's a pretty bold prediction. Hey, Peter, what are your thoughts on Alex Stone's future? He got arrested for writing a story about shooting a pet dinosaur. Arresting smart teenagers isn't how you stop dinosaur killers. It's how you create them. Charles Clymer or Slimer. Either way, you had a rough childhood. Terrorism isn't a child who builds clocks. Terrorism is persecuting a child of color based on racist stereotypes. Box ran multiple articles on Ahmed. Ahmed Mohamed's arrest is the perfect example of why racial profiling doesn't work. Except it wasn't profiling. It's not just Ahmed Mohamed. Anti-Muslim bigotry in America is out of control. We're about 4 minutes into this video right now, and you've seen how this story's been portrayed. This is persecution of a smart brown Muslim, and this is just one of America's innate problems of racism and bigotry. But what really happened? For that, we're just going to have to kind of piece things together.
I made a clock. It was really easy. I wanted to show her something small at first, but they took a wrong point of it and they thought it was a bomb, so I got arrested for a hoax bomb.
From CNN, he recalled showing one teacher the clock and her telling him that she thought it was nice, but he shouldn't show other instructors. The teen put the clock in his book bag, but an alarm beeped in the middle of 6th period and Ahmed showed the teacher what he had. She was like, "It looks like a bomb." I told her, "Doesn't look like a bomb to me." Now you just heard that. Now listen how Ahmed describes what this device looks like.
It was a digital clock, and the digital display had four number lines on it. A number line of hour and a number line of minutes. And the clock was made in a metal case, a metal box, and I put the circuit board in there with the digital display in there with it. And I put it in place, and I showed my teacher, and it got to the point where I was arrested. But it was made, and I closed it with a cable. So, because I didn't want to lock it to make it seem like a threat, so I just used a simple cable. So it won't look that much suspicious.
Whoa, wait. What'd you just say, Ahmed? You closed it with a cable so it wouldn't look like a threat. So it wouldn't look that much suspicious? Suspicious of what? Come on, he knew it looked like a bomb. Now this is what the device looks like. Now listen to him describe it one more time.
And the clock was made in a metal case, a metal box, and I put the circuit board in there with the digital display in there with it. And I put it in place, and I showed my teacher, and it got to the point where I was arrested. But it was made, and I closed it with a cable. So, because I didn't want to lock it to make it seem like a threat, so I just used a simple cable. So it won't look that much suspicious.
Look like a threat of what? Suspicious of what? What could be suspicious of? Being a bomb. Ahmed, you know it looks like a bomb. What else could it be? So how did the teacher respond to this? The teacher called the police. It was an English teacher who got spooked and reported Ahmed to the principal. We always ask our students and staff to immediately report if they observe any suspicious items and or suspicious behavior, the school statement reads. If something is out of the ordinary, the information should be reported immediately to a school administrator and or the police so it can be addressed right away. We will always take necessary precautions to protect our students and keep our school community as safe as possible. But this is what Vox puts out. Here's how a Texas school explained arresting a 14-year-old Muslim boy for making a clock. On Monday, teachers at Irving Independent School District in Irving, Texas, had police arrest a 14-year-old student named Ahmed Mohamed for bringing to school a simple electronic clock he built as an engineering project. Police escorted Mohamed out of the school in handcuffs. Photos of the arrest show him wearing a NASA t-shirt and accused him of trying to build a bomb. This is misleading. The article makes it sound like the engineering project was something Mohamed did for school. No, it wasn't. This is something he did for himself and then brought it to school. No one expected him to bring it in. Second, this isn't a simple electronic clock. You've seen what it looked like. Okay, it looks like a bomb. And that is why the school reacted. This arrest clearly should never have happened, but one would like to expect at least that the Irving school, after just a curious glance at the clock, maybe a conversation with Mohammed's engineering teacher who had praised the project, would realize its mistake, that the school would apologize to Mohamed for humiliating and terrorizing him, acknowledge its mistakes, and use it as a teaching moment to discuss racism and profiling. This is absolutely crap. Remember, when they're talking about race, they're talking about people who are not white. If a white kid would have brought this exact same device to school, yeah, he would have been arrested. And yeah, the arrest was over the top, but you've seen this happen before. And I've showed you with the Pop-Tart, with the kid who wrote the story about the dinosaur, he got arrested, and also the kid who had the 2-inch Lego gun. Schools tend to overreact. But schools having a history of acting this way, is it any surprise the school did this when they saw this device? No, this wasn't about race, and it wasn't about him being a Muslim. The school sent this letter home to Ahmed's parents to explain why he was suspended. Now, I'm not going to read the entire letter. I'm going to get straight to the meat. While we do not have any threat to our school community, we want you to be aware that the Irving Police Department responded to a suspicious-looking item on campus yesterday. We are pleased to report that after the police department's assessment, the item discovered at school did not pose a threat to your child's safety. Our school is cooperating fully with the ongoing police investigation, and we are handling the situation in accordance with the Irving ISD Student Code of Conduct and applicable laws. Please rest assured that we will always take the necessary steps to keep our school as safe as possible. I recommend using this opportunity to talk with your child about the student code of conduct and specifically not bring items to school that are prohibited. Also, this is a good time to remind your child how important it is to immediately report any suspicious items and or suspicious behavior they observe to any school employee so we can address it right away. We will always take necessary precautions to protect our students. Vox continues, the letter, which acknowledges no mistake whatsoever on the school's part, even though by then the school officials knew the clock was harmless, is infuriating to read for its tone deafness. It seems to imply that Mohamed was at fault for violating the student code of conduct. The letter also asks students to immediately report any suspicious items and or suspicious behavior, in effect asking students and parents to help perpetrate the school's practice of racist profiling, even after that profiling had been clearly demonstrated as without merit. It is appalling that the school officials would still think this way even after their arrest had been exposed as a horrible mistake. It is especially telling that they would wish to announce this fact to students' parents as well. This isn't just disingenuous, this is bullshit. This was not racist profiling. This item looked like a bomb, and Ahmed knew it looked like a bomb. Now, unlike Vox, I actually did a little bit of research and was able to pull up the Student Code of Conduct. Under the section of reporting crimes, the principal and other school administrators / staff, as appropriate, shall report crimes as required by law and shall call local law enforcement when an administrator suspects that a crime has been committed on campus. After notification to local law enforcement, school administrators will call Irving ISD Safety and Security. Under the possession of prohibited items, students shall not possess or use a look-alike weapon. Texas Penal Code involving hoax bombs. A person commits an offense if the person knowingly manufactures, sells, purchases, transports, or possesses a hoax bomb with the intent to use the hoax bomb to 1. Make another believe that the hoax bomb is an explosive or incendiary device, or 2. Cause alarm or reaction of any type by an official, a public safety agency, or volunteer agency organized to deal with emergencies. And B, an offense under this section is a Class A misdemeanor. Remember, this is what the teacher saw. And Mohamed himself, he even said, this thing could look suspicious. So, now after reading those two sections from the Student Code of Conduct and the Texas Penal Code regarding hoax bombs, the teacher had no choice. The teacher had to call the police. And the police agree with me on this.
You've been provided with pictures of the device and that it shows that it certainly was suspicious in nature. The student showed the device to a teacher who was concerned that it was possibly the infrastructure for a bomb. School resource officers questioned the student about his intentions and the reason why he brought the device to the school. The student would only say that it was a clock and was not forthcoming at that time about any other details. Having no other information to go on and taking into consideration the device's suspicious appearance and the safety of the students and the staff at MacArthur High School, the student was taken into custody for possession of a hoax bomb. Under Texas law, a person is guilty of possessing a hoax bomb if he possesses a device that is intended to cause anyone to be alarmed or a reaction of any type by law enforcement officers. Following the standard procedures that we have, the student was handcuffed for his safety and for the safety of the officers and was transported to a juvenile processing center here at the police station. Recognizing additional facts were required, the student was released to his parents so further investigation could be completed. The follow-up investigation revealed the device apparently was a homemade experiment, and there's no evidence to support the perception he intended to create alarm. No charges will be filed and the case is considered closed. Our reaction, and you've seen the image, our reaction would have been the same either way. That's a very suspicious device. We live in an age where you can't take things like that to schools.
So it wasn't that the teacher didn't understand what a clock was. Unlike what the amazing atheist says, people in Texas are generally scared when they are exposed to modern technology. To them, it's indistinguishable from magic. I expected more from you. Now you can't say that fake bombs aren't scary.
Yes, you got it. Yes.
And yes, these guys did get arrested.
And where Dodovetsky ran up to the man, pretending to have a bag with an explosive in it. At one point, you can see the man running with Dodovetsky to get away.
It's no joke. I mean, jokes are things you play with your family and you know someone you know, and it's minor. This is real.
Real enough for Brown to call police, file a report, and have the filmmakers arrested and charged for a felony bomb hoax.
Now, all in all, now after everything you've seen and everything you've heard, Mohamed, he's a good kid, okay? He's got a passion for engineering, and I hope he does well. And some good things did come out of this. The President of the United States has invited him to the White House to take a look at his clock. Mark Zuckerberg has invited him to go over to Facebook to be an intern. So he's got a nice, bright future ahead of him. However, it does appear that he's positioning himself to sue the school. And if he does, he deserves to lose. Remember, he knew that this thing looked like a bomb. And if you go through enough of his interviews and his statements, they're very, very coached. They're very, very prepared. And he keeps on referring to this thing as his invention, his invention. Listen, he didn't invent a clock. He built a clock. I can go to Fry's, buy the pieces, and build a computer. I'm not going to invent the computer. And there's just a few other things that stand out too. But I really do wish Ahmed the best. The real irony is all these Twitter comments and all these news stories that are talking about how Mohammed is being persecuted because he is a Muslim is BS. Because if it wasn't for the fact that he was Muslim, this wouldn't be a news story. Because if anybody else showed up with this device, people would have said, yeah, it looks like a bomb. I understand why the school reacted the way it did. And remember this kid, the one who built the nuclear fusion reactor? This was a school project. The school knew about it, and they helped fund it. Now this is really cool.
A school classroom in Preston isn't the first place you'd expect to find a nuclear reactor. But yes, this is a 13-year-old who's built one. Jamie Edwards today attempted to become the youngest fusioneer in the world by smashing 2 hydrogen atoms together, making helium through nuclear fusion.
Right, folks, can I just ask you all to leave now?
It's not without its risks, so the room was cleared, although we did leave the camera running. And after a few minutes...
I heard the Geiger counter rapidly go up, and I was like, what is that? Then I noticed he looked over, and the neutron counter was right up off scale nearly. So I thought, we must have done it, that's neutrons. I can't believe it.